Hey Virgo, welcome to your weekly forecast for July 27th to August 2nd. We're going to see what's happening in the week ahead for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising with this lovely deck here. This Mermaid deck, keeping with our Ocean and Mermaid deck theme for the summer. And then we're going to pull an affirmation for abundance and finance from this deck here. So without further ado, my darling Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, let's go ahead and see what's coming up, what your weekly messages are for the week ahead for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alrighty, my darlings. So first and foremost, we have... Oh, air. I don't know why I stopped there. Let's pull the other cards. Let's pull the other cards. Come on, Amethyst. They want more than one card for their reading. What was that all about? All right, so your first card here is we have air. And so this says breathing deep, entering into life, exchange of life-bringing energies. Okay, now you guys know, you all know that you watch my readings. In the weekly forecast, I try to focus on things outside of love and romance because every tarot reader and their mother is focusing on love. And although love can be really great and really wonderful, let's face it, there's other areas of our life. So I try to, focus in the weekly readings in other areas, or the way in which these cards are going to apply in our life in other areas of our life. For some of you, this could very well be something very romantic, very sensual, very, loving kind of energy. For others of you, this could be a situation or a person that's entering your life that is a breath of fresh air. Okay, maybe some of you have been longing for a change. You've been wanting some positive change. You've been wanting things to kind of get shaken up here. So this is a change, energy coming in to change, to bring about change and positive change, and to kind of breathe new life into you or into a situation, kind of bring in this new energy. We can also look at this as the element of air. Virgo, you are an earth sign, but you may be connecting with the element of air and you may be feeling very inspired. You may have a lot of inspired ideas coming to you at this time. Your next card here, my darlings, and this is a card that's been a bit of a stalker card. It's come up for a few of the different signs. I'm about to show it to you. I do want to say, prepare yourself. It is kind of a scary looking card. Don't get mad at me. Don't get upset at me. I did not paint these images or these pictures. I did not design this deck. This is not an oracle deck that I created. But I'm going to explain why it's coming up, and it's not as scary as it seems or looks. But you have a card that says experiments, manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, and arrogance. So, my darling Virgo, this is a dark kind of card or a dark kind of energy. And it's going to apply to you guys in a couple of different ways. There's a lot of intense energies that are moving through right now. There's portals that are opening up. There's energies that are passing through. We're going through a mass awakening at this time. We're coming out of like a dark ages into a new renaissance. And so as these massive energies are moving through and traveling through, a lot of people are having to choose and decide which forces they are deciding to work with. It's like, it's kind of like Star Wars. Are you gonna, use the force for good? Or are you gonna use the force for evil? What are you gonna do? Where are you going to put your allegiance here? And so some of you are having to make that decision. And in the process, some of you are maybe connecting with deeper parts of yourself, darker parts of yourself. Now, we all have light and dark within us, but what are we going to do with the energy? Are we going to be manipulative with it? Are we going to be destructive with it? Or are we going to use it for healing? Are we going to use it to create? There's also been this, what's the word? This revival. There's been a spiritual revival in which a lot of people have been delving more into mysticism and the art of spell and spell work. So some of you may be beginning to feel consequences of spells in which you've tried to manipulate energy. You know, maybe you kind of tried to put a love spell on somebody, or you tried to put a spell on somebody to teach them a lesson. We cannot put a spell on someone else without also putting that spell on us. And I know there's things people do to try to, you know, kind of create like protection from that, or like, you know, keep it to make it bounce off them, but you can't run from it forever. All right, Virgo. So if you have been delving into these things, this might be a time in which you're being given time to clear out that energy, to kind of break any of those spells that you put out there. And maybe they haven't been formal spells, but maybe you've been like wishing. You've been wishing bad on somebody, or you've been feeling a lot of bitterness or resentment towards someone, and you've been, you know, sending them bad vibes. This is a time to kind of check in with that and release it, to surrender it to the universe, to release the person from it, to release yourself from it, so that these energies don't end up kind of, you know, invading your space and creating negative consequences. For other ones of you, you may be breaking out of a spell. Okay, you might be breaking out of a figurative spell, a literal spell. You might be waking up and seeing past an illusion. You might be waking up and seeing ways in which you've been manipulated in a situation. Maybe it's a narcissistic kind of thing, and you're standing up against it and you're breaking out of it. You're taking your power back. But I feel there's an element here of spells being broken, whether it's an actual spell or it's an illusion that someone is waking up from. So this is the energy here, Virgo, with this card. Your next card here is Time and Tide. Now, I shuffled, and you guys saw me shuffle. I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. And I did another reading in between, but I feel like there's similarities here between you and the reading that I did for Gemini, because I believe they had that card followed by this card, and I shuffled. But there could be something where some of you are dealing with a Gemini, okay? Or maybe it's just you have that energy within yourself. But you've got Time and Tide coming up here. So this says oceanic spells and rituals. So what did I say? I felt like some spell was being broken. A power was being taken back. And so as a part of your healing, Virgo, especially those of you who are waking up, who are seeing past an illusion, who are stepping out of a spell, you are taking time to find your spiritual connection, to heal, to find your spiritual practice. The tides are turning, the tides are changing. So you're coming into this time of release, relief, healing, and spiritual connection. Okay? Positive energy, positive energy. Finding that connection, finding that healing within yourself. Those of you who, like I said, if you have been dabbling in spell work, don't be surprised if you begin receiving signs this week. You might even have spirit visitations from spirit telling you it's time to release these spells, right? There's negative consequences, just the way that energy works, that, you know, they're kind of on the horizon. So go ahead and release them. Go ahead and, you know, I don't know if take them back is the right word, but undo them. Go ahead and undo them. So some of you, this tide is turning, these times are changing, and so you are undoing those spells. The next card here, dear Virgo, is Time Out. Awareness, contemplation, solitude, and time alone. So there's kind of like a sense of healing here. There's a sense of release. There's a sense of rejuvenation. The orange is really jumping out at me. So the orange to me can indicate that you're taking a break from people and you're spending some time alone to do some work on the sacral chakra. There may be clearing that's taking place for you in the sacral chakra. This might be a good time to look up affirmations, meditations, singing bowl frequencies and things to benefit and to help the sacral chakra. Okay. I also feel that she's kind of sitting here on this sunken boat with this sea serpent, you know, I don't know what it's called. Is it called a mass? I don't know boat anatomy, guys. But I kind of feel like some of you are looking at some plans that maybe you feel like they sunk or they didn't take off. And some of them may have been, and please don't get mad at me, Virgo, I'm saying this with love. I'm not saying this in a way of judgment. Some of these plans didn't take. They didn't, you know, take. They didn't succeed because they may have been born of desires for power over others, to rule over others, or to, you know, kind of like ego-based desires. And so I feel like you're having a timeout to kind of look at that stuff too. And you're going to stop and you're going to think about, what do I really want for myself? Let me put aside any kind of desire for other people to learn a lesson or to stick it to other people. And, you know, do I really want this for myself, or am I wanting to prove a point to other people? You're kind of releasing yourself from feeling like you have anything to prove. You're releasing yourself from, like, you know, wanting to stick it to people, and you're kind of looking at your plans in a new way. You're taking a time out to ask, what do I want? What do I want for myself? Forget other people, forget about other people, but what do I want for me, right? And the sacral chakra is directly kind of linked to confidence, to identity. So that makes sense why some of you might be focusing on that chakra as well. So we're going to go ahead and check out your affirmation for the week here. And as always, Virgo, I encourage you to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those may resonate with you more than others. They might be very helpful. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you want to click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, you can schedule a private reading with me there. So the card that you have is relax, right? Time out, relax. See. Those two cards coming in together. Affirmation is, I choose to relax and not to fill my mind with worry, as that creates stress. So you need to take a breather. You need to go easy on yourself. I just feel like this is a week in which you're realizing that any grudges you've been carrying and any burdens you've been carrying, any kind of, like, you know, revenge fantasies you've been holding on to, you're realizing that they haven't been doing you any favors. They've been too draining. They've been too heavy. They've been too harmful. So I kind of feel like this is a week, Virgo, in which you're releasing resentments and you're allowing yourself to take back your energy and focus on you and focus on healing. Focus on, you know, what's going to make you happy, and stepping away from you know, jumping through hoops or proving yourself, right? But rather instead living your best life. You might want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Like I said, some weeks they might resonate with you more than others. Maybe you want to take the affirmations from your moon sign and rising sign and switch up your affirmations for the week. Maybe you want to put the affirmations together, make one big affirmation for the week. You can do that as well. You can say the affirmations or do them however resonates with you. But one way I have found to be super effective is to say the affirmation out loud the first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up, the last thing at night right before you go to bed, because you're planting it in your brain like these little seeds, these little thought seeds. So it becomes an autopilot thought. It becomes a thought that you're thinking very automatically without having to remind yourself. So that can be very helpful for a lot of people as well. You might want to try that out. But again, if there's a different way that resonates with you more, by all means, my dears, make it your own. Okay, Virgo, so don't forget, every single day on Amethyst Angellight Facebook and Instagram, I post a daily card with a daily message. I also post a pick a card game in the afternoon. A lot of people have been finding those very helpful. And every single month, I choose one person from social media to win a free 30-minute reading. So check that out as well. Check out your love messages for July, your channeled angel messages for July. Those are linked in the description. The August messages will be up soon. Hit subscribe and the notification bell to be notified when the new videos get posted. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Take care.